Welcome back, trainers. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with our viewer battle series, and we are going to be featuring a battle versus Beta. Now, as you guys know, I started streaming again on the YouTube platform back on August 24th, and Beta was the very first battler onto the list that day. So, first off, I need to say Beta does not have a YouTube channel that he uploads to. However, he does enjoy a good battle, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Now, I haven't done a single battle in probably a year, maybe more. I've been doing a lot of VGC doubles, and this is kind of a refreshing battle here to have. So we're up against his Galvantula that goes in for the sticky web, and of course my Annihilate. I don't normally lead off as a lead, but after seeing his team, I was like, you know what, I'm going to have to bring in Annihilate. So we end up going in for the Ice Punch here, probably not the best choice to go up against that Galvantula, but he ends up going in for the Volt Switch here into the next turn. That's going to allow him to send his Galvantula back to his party and decide to bring in a new, fresh Pokemon. Now, with the viewer battles, guys, we are starting a list every stream, and if you guys want to do a battle, we can do double battle, we can do single battles, multi-battles, we can do VGC, we can do Smogon. You guys want to battle with your in-game teams, or let's just say you want to bring your favorite Pokemon to a match. The whole point of a viewer battle is so that way we can enjoy the game the way you want to play it. So come on out, join into the stream, get a battle going, and if you do upload to YouTube, let me know so I can feature your channel in the description below. Now, of course, Beta doesn't have a YouTube channel here, so there will be no link for Beta here today. But sit back, relax, enjoy the battle, guys. Looks like Beta is going to bring in his Dragapult here. Now, of course, with Annihilate is known for having a Rage Fist. Now, Rage Fist is a very strong Ghost-type move that works better the less hit points that Annihilate has. So we ended up going in for the Rage Fist, and due to the fact that Dragapult is a Ghost-type Pokemon, it actually was super effective and ended up knocking out the Dragon Pokemon from Galar. So in comes his Serperior. Now, if you guys take a look at Serperior here, that is a shiny Serperior. It's looking pretty fantastic. I bet you found that by either going to the biome or doing the Masuda method. So he ends up going in for the Glare here. That's going to paralyze the Annihilate. And unfortunately for us, we actually are paralyzed. We can't actually move this turn whatsoever. So I know for a fact that I have to get this Ice Punch off onto the Serperior in order to try to take it out. He ends up going in for the Leech Seed, and of course Leech Seed is going to slowly sap the health from our Annihilate every turn and going back into the Serperior. It's kind of like having leftovers without having leftovers. Now, we are paralyzed, so there is always a potential of us actually being paralyzed and unable to move here. Definitely something that I enjoy doing a lot to my opponents. He ends up going in for the Leaf Storm, and as you guys can see, the Serperior is actually having the ability Contrary. And Contrary is actually an ability that will raise the stats of the Pokemon instead of allowing the lowered stats to take effect from an attack that was used. So Leaf Storm, if you use Leaf Storm, it actually lowers your special attack. However, with the Contrary ability, it actually will boost it instead. We do end up actually taking out the Serperior with another Ice Punch, and we are now facing a Pokemon known as Flareon. Now, if you take a look at Flareon here, it is able to outspeed the Annihilate. We are paralyzed, so our speed is actually cut. He ends up going in for the Trailblaze. And Trailblaze is a grass-type move that once it's used, it will actually raise the speed of your Pokemon. Now, he does have a Toxic Orb. Now, that tells me that this Pokemon has the Guts ability. Now, if you guys know anything about Guts, Guts actually boosts up your attack stat and will allow you to do more damage in the following turns. Now, of course, he is poisoned, so the poison will slowly lower the health stat of that Flareon as we go through the battle. I ended up bringing in my Baxcalibur. Now, Baxcalibur, of course, has the thermal exchange ability, so I thought, you know what, if I can take a fire move, I can boost up my stats as well and get more damage off out to this Flareon. However, when I actually did this battle, I was thinking about Quick Feet, not Guts. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's just going to be really fast. But no, in reality, he has Guts, and it is going to end up boosting up his stats to the point where he can actually just annihilate this Baxcalibur. So now that being said, I do have a decision to make here. I can either go in with the Armor Rouge, or I can go in with my Pawmot. Now, Pawmot, of course, does have an attack called Revival Blessing, and that will allow me to restore the health back to about half the hit points of a fainted Pokemon. You can only do this once every battle. You cannot have this Pokemon do it more than that. However, if you have multiple Pokemon with Revival Blessing, technically speaking, you could do this multiple times. However, that's not exactly what we've decided to do here. This whole team is actually based off of my original team from Scarlet and Violet back in the very early days of Series A, which is known as Season 1 or Regulation A. But we ended up going for the Fake Out here, and Fake Out did flinch the Flareon, and of course the poison is slowly draining the health from that Flareon. Now, at this time, I'm thinking to myself, okay, can I actually get a Volt Switch in here, or am I going to get knocked out? And the answer is I'm actually going to end up getting knocked out because of the Flare Blitz. That Flareon is so fast, it is just one-shotting some Pokemon here. And unfortunately, Pawmot does fall just like the Baxcalibur, but luckily for us, there is some recoil onto a Flare Blitz, as well as, you know, poison would have eventually knocked him out as well. So we ended up getting 3 Pokemon out onto Beta's side, and Beta has also gotten 3 Pokemon out on ours. So huge shout out to Beta, you are doing fantastic there, bud, and I hope you have enjoyed the battle so far. He's going to end up leading with his Scooter here. Scooter, of course, is a... trying to think of what it's called now. I can only think of its name by its nickname. But we ended up bringing in Tinkaton. Silazer, there we go. I had a little editing issue in my scoreboard. It's been a while since I've actually edited the scoreboard, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it and able to follow along. We have Tinkaton out here. We're going in for the Fake Out. Of course, that is going to flinch the Silazer, and he actually shows that he has leftovers on his Silazer, which is actually kind of different. I don't think I've ever really seen leftovers onto a Silazer, but I'm totally digging that shiny Silazer. It looks super cool. I like the grays and the whites onto him there. So anyways, he goes in for the Shed Tail, and of course that's going to drastically cut his HP down to about half, but the Shed Tail allows him to set up a substitute, but go back to his party and bring out a fresh Pokemon. And in this situation, he actually decides to bring in his Lucario. Now, of course, Lucario is a fighting and steel-type Pokemon, so if it does manage to get hit by a Play Rough, it might actually do some damage. Not necessarily enough to take it out, I don't think, but we did do the Play Rough. We actually ended up taking out the Substitute, and of course, that allows Lucario his free swap in, right? So he can pretty much do anything at this point at full health. So we have Tinkaton here. We're kind of trying to debate what we want to do. I'm a little concerned about getting hit by like a close combat or an Aura Sphere, but he ends up going in for a nasty plot. And as you guys can see, we ended up doing our Play Rough, which actually did about half the HP damage to that Lucario. Now, the Lucario onto the field here, it does still pose a huge threat to the Tinkaton. With Tinkaton onto the field, Steel and Fairy, not necessarily the best type matchups to go up against a Lucario, just because its whole typing can actually just knock out Tinkaton. So we're going to see what happens here, and I'll be honest, I can't really remember what happened. So he's going to go for the Steel Beam. I knew it was a Steel type move, and that's just going to one-shot Tinkaton, but there's so much recoil damage that happens to the Lucario, that Lucario actually goes down as well. So that is 4 and 4 on both sides. And we pretty much at this time have Meowscarada and we have Armarouge. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what, I'm probably going to have to bring in Armarouge here. He has Galvantula and still has Silezer. So we bring out our Armarouge and he brings out his Scooter. Silezer, guys, come on, I know. I'm terrible with Pokemon names. You're going to realize this as I go through the stream. I cannot call out Pokemon names. Guys, I'm over the age of 30. I'm in my late 30s. I'm not going to remember like 1,000 plus Pokemon names. If you guys got nicknames, we're going to call them by their nicknames. So he's going to go in for the knockoff here. That's actually going to do some serious damage because we are also a psychic type Pokemon. And of course, here we go with the Aura Sphere. That is going to one-shot that Scooter. And Scooter is going to be knocked out. Now, as you guys know, Silezer is a normal type Pokemon. And, you know, we did just hit it with that fire type, not fire, fighting type move. And super effective, so he just ends up getting knocked out. The big issue here now is this Galvantula, and the reason I say that is because I have a dark grass type Pokemon in my arsenal, and of course we also have a psychic Pokemon currently out onto the field. So in order to lose the psychic typing, we ended up going in for the Terrestrial of Fire, and I'm hoping that this is actually going to allow me to resist an attack from this Galvantula. As you guys can see, there's the Bug Buzz, and it does absolutely nothing at this time, and we're going to go in for the Armor Cannon. Okay, Galvantula is down, and that is going to be the battle with Beta. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you would like to battle, make sure you come out to the streams. Take care, have a good one, and peace out.